Well, Joe Biden's team confirming at least 3 people associated with the campaign have tested positive for coronavirus. The news forcing Senator Kamala Harris to cancel travel at a crucial time. It's also highlighting a stark difference in media coverage compared to what we saw when Hope Hicks was first diagnosed with the virus. The headline of the article in Salon.com saying, quote, "The audacity of Hope Hicks and her boss getting COVID-19. Joe Concha is a media reporter for The Hill. He joins us now. Joe, it's always good to see you. I was looking at the coverage and kind of doing some history and going over what happened a couple of weeks ago when the White House outbreak happened versus now. And I find it fascinating, and I want to put this on the screen. This is Alternate, which is a left-wing publication, and their headline reads the following here. Here are 4 ways Biden's team's response to positive COVID tests shows the breadth of Trump world's incompetence. It's amazing that only when you have an outbreak of COVID in the Biden campaign can some blame the Trump White House.
Well, you always have to bring Trump into the conversation, right? He blots out the sun, even though this is a story about Joe Biden's campaign and Kamala Harris with less than 3 weeks until Election Day being taken off the trail. Then again, I don't know if anybody's going to really notice the senator being taken off the trail because I've never seen a more invisible candidate ever run for an office of this stature in terms of the vice presidency and the presidency since, I guess, Joe Biden. Because think about this, Trace. She was chosen as Joe Biden's running mate more than 2 months ago. She has yet to do one press conference. She has yet to do one gaggle with reporters. She has yet to do one remotely tough interview in all of this time. So, yeah, Kamala Harris will be taken off the trail. But then again, will anybody really notice?
Are you curious at all about the lack of scrutiny that the positive tests in the Biden campaign and people associated with Kamala Harris is getting in the media right now, Joe? I mean, it seems to me, you read the articles, they certainly state that she has her communications director and someone who was on the plane and somebody else, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of deep dive and delving into this the way you would think one would want to kind of contact trace this in the media.
Yeah, and not just the deep dives, Trace, but the condescension, the snark that we see related always when it's something about the Trump campaign in terms of blaming people for getting COVID-19, automatically assuming that it was reckless behavior in terms of how they contracted it. That means that's a pretty dicey thing to do politically because that means you're blaming the millions and millions of people who tested positive for this virus, and maybe they did everything right, and maybe there isn't everything that we know at this point in terms of how you can get it. So, yeah, if I were teaching a Zoom class at this point, I would call it Selective Outrage 101, because when it happened with Trump, that was very different from what we're hearing, or in this case, not hearing about when it comes to the Biden campaign and Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I want to move on, if I can, Joe, to this whole the Steve Scully controversy. You know, he's been suspended. He, of course, the C-SPAN, he was going to moderate the second debate, which was canceled. He said that his Twitter account got hacked last week, and he did not send that tweet to Anthony Scaramucci. And now he's saying, OK, I did send it. I apologize. Chris Wallace last week, when this whole thing broke, we had him on a few minutes ago, and I'm going to play a soundbite from him. When the whole thing broke, he was saying, look, he got hacked. It looked like, he was not guilty of this. And today, Chris said this. Watch.
Unfortunately, as we've all learned in our professional lives and sometimes in our personal lives, people do things you don't expect them to do. They turn out, to have told you something that turns out to have been a lie. It's very sad, and he's going to pay a price for it. And I think ultimately the commission pays a price for it because they chose him as a moderator.
What's the price, in your estimation, Joe, for this media bias?
I think it's permanently damaged reputation, unfortunately, in this case, Trace. And I understand where Chris Wallace is coming from. Chris Wallace has been in the news business for more than 50 years. Steve Scully was at C-SPAN for more than 30 years. He gave somebody he's known for a while and respected the benefit of the doubt. If you remember, also, I was on with you last week at this time right after Chris Wallace was on, and I was skeptical because I found 2 things very odd. Scully never put out a statement saying that I was hacked, so his silence was telling. And then the fact that if you hack a presidential debate moderator's account, is your first order of business to really send the Scaramucci tweet? tweet and that's your only order of business, and then it goes away. So, look, the debate commission here, I think, canceled that debate. The second one that was supposed to happen last night, right. I don't think it was so much about the president having COVID and the risk factors. I think it was the fact that if Steve Scully moderated that debate and they knew that there was something fishy about that, boy, could you imagine if that debate went off last night after this news broke about him lying about it? And by the way, there's an FBI investigation about this, too. So it's not so much the so-called crime, it's the cover-up that's the problem here for Steve Scully. And
I got to put this on the screen. This is Anthony Scaramucci, the response. Speaking of canceling here, he said this. He was the one, of course, who got the tweet. He says, I get that he got suspended, meaning Steve Scully, for the lie, but the punishing cancel culture is over the top. Is it over the top, Joe?
No, it is not, because, again, if you have the FBI and Twitter investigating this after he lied, that should have been enough. All he had to do was say, I was joking around, I sent something to Scaramucci, nothing to see here. It would have probably gone away. Instead, by covering it up, this is what's led to him probably not working at C-SPAN for a long time, because, again, once you look at Steve Scully, this is the first thing you're going to think of, and that's a shame. That's a shame, Trace.
Yeah. Joe Concha, good to see you. Thank you, sir.